We started off talking to Linda, but now we're gonna drink our tea. I'm not sure if our guest.
It smells delicious. Our guest is on his way, but I don't know where he is. Maybe he
Do we have any
decided to not come. Do we have any more?
No, he really had a very stressful couple of days. His brother-in-law passed away, so it might not happen that he's gonna show up here. But we're gonna.
He was on his way.
He said he was on his way. So.
Well, good morning. Happy Halloween. It is Halloween today, Thursday morning. I have socks, Halloween socks on.
And I have ears.
You have ears. I don't have a costume on today.
No?
No costume.
Are you sure?
I'm a yogi.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, we're drinking tea today. Let me put my glasses.
What kind of tea is this?
It's a stress relief. I decided to put the stress relief yoga tea because our lovely Raymond is under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and his family better. So yeah, yoga tea, stress relief. And my message today: speak to make yourself happy, don't speak to impress others. Oh my God, that's perfect for me because I can never shut up. Yes. What?
Nothing. You got a point.
Mark knows his mom yaps. Okay, what do you have?
I have You Are Unlimited, which I mean is true. I mean you have your capability of doing anything in the world is unlimited. Coming to happiness or wealth within yourself, education. I mean the list is endless. Anything is unlimited. Whatever you put your mind to is possible.
It is possible, absolutely. It's all in your mind. I know there's things that you cannot change, like when you become bold and you're gonna ask your follicles to grow and you're gonna put an intention. It's actually a quote from my teacher, David Swanson, in one of his movies. He's semi-bold. He says, follicles, please grow, and then next morning he gets up and he still has no hair. I know those things are out of our control, but when you think about all the actions that you do, it's an energy that you put up in the world, it is possible. Like my India trip, when I started practicing yoga about 20 years ago, I decided back then that the best way to get into the essence of that beautiful practice would be visit a country where it all started.
And when are you leaving for India again?
I'm leaving on January 2nd.
And how long are you going for?
The training that I'll be taking with Mohans is 23 days. So I'll be leaving on the 2nd. It is a 2-day travel. It's 26 hours to get there.
How many flights are you taking?
I'm taking one from Tampa to Boston, from Boston to Dubai, and from Dubai to Chennai. And then the resort that we are staying on is about 60 kilometers from the airport. So I will have a private Chevron to take me to the hotel. Chauffeur.
Chevron's a gas station. Chevron's a gas station.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a gas station picking me up. Now I will have a chauffeur from the resort and taking me to hotel. I think I'm gonna get there at 2 o'clock in the morning, so that's gonna be insane. And then on the 4th we're starting the training, and it goes all the way till the 26th of January. And on the way back, because of the time change, it's going to be 33 hours of travel.
Wow.
Interesting.
So what are you excited for? What are your expectations?
My expectations in training, Mohans are the true voice of yoga and Ayurveda. And even though I already took several trainings with them in Virginia, I traveled to Virginia, and I know I've learned a lot, which I brought to the studio, but I still know that there's so much, there's vast information, there's so much information and so much more that I can learn from the people that live it. They basically live their yoga life. There's no cutting edges. They speak yoga, they live yoga, they're just wonderful, wonderful people that I can learn from. It is with A.G. Mohan, the author and the teacher. He wrote several yoga books along with his wife, Indra, and their son Ganesh, and their daughter Nitya. And Nitya is she's a graduate from the Academy of Music, so she will be teaching us probably chanting. I believe that's going to be her role there. And to have them for almost entire month, the entire family, it's just an honor. And I'm blessed that I found a guru that I can follow. And guru doesn't mean any god. Don't think it's a god or some worship. Guru means a teacher in Sanskrit language. So my guru is A.G. Mohan and Indra Mohan. They're both wonderful people that we can take example from.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
I remember when I went on a retreat or for a trip for yoga or to study more for yoga to Costa Rica, which was very exciting. Even just going to another country to explore the practice of yoga is eye-opening, because I mean, even though there wasn't any gurus around me or anything like that, I was still surrounded by people that are trying to learn about the practice of yoga and how to be more connected within themselves, and just having that experience around and that energy around me was a life-changing experience. The retreat, Terra de Sueños, was also great. I can't complain about them at all. They were great. The chefs in the kitchen were amazing. The vegan meals that we had. Going on a retreat or anything, any type of study for yoga is definitely eye-opening. Even our teacher's training is eye-opening. You sit down for one class, right? Would it be called class or one session?
Yes.
Yeah, you sit down for a session, and even then, it's mind-blowing. The practice of yoga and the lifestyle behind yoga can really change your life.
Because yoga is really a lifestyle.
Oh yeah, yoga is a lifestyle. Some people compare it to a religion, but no.
I had a conversation yesterday. With whom did I have a conversation? Oh, a lady from Wellington. She's intrigued by yoga. I teach at Wellington for the last 9 years. Wellington is a 55+ community, and I've been teaching there this is going to be my 9th year, 2020. And the lady that I talked to, Candy, she told me yesterday, she said, oh my God, I tell everybody about this wonderful class that we have 3 times a week, and how wonderful it is, how I feel uplifted, energized. And then somebody came up to her and said, isn't it a religion or the devil worshipping practice? And she said, no, for God's sake, no. It's what it really does, it will enhance your faith. Whatever religion you want to cherish, whether it's Christian.
I was about to say, even during meditation, they have meditations where they have, it's a meditation with Christian Bible study.
Yes, so there's Christian yoga now.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So you can, I mean, even in meditation there's mantras, or you can just say a prayer. I mean, prayer over and over in your head. Going over and over in your head.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's a mantra, japa mantra, and even the rosary, in Roman Catholic. I'm not sure if other religions have a rosary, but I was brought up in a Roman Catholic household, and we use rosary to pray to Mother of God, Mary. And the repetition of saying the Holy Marys many times, because the rosary, I don't know how many beads there is, I really don't remember anymore. but it's very quieting. After when you finish the rosary, you feel very uplifted, very calm, very soothing. It's a very soothing time for your brain. So in yoga we have a mantra which we repeat many times as well to quiet the fluctuation of the brain waves. And it doesn't have to be Sanskrit. You don't have to use the language that you don't understand. It can be your mother tongue. It can be English, like for most of us.
It can be any language that you want. I mean,
you can use Polish.
We can use Polish.
Don't use foul language because it's a negative energy.
Unless you can say pierogi, pierogi, pierogi. Yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
Pierogi and kielbasa.
Pierogi and kielbasa.
So let's make a couple of announcements because we're obviously Raymond didn't make it here today, but as I said, it's completely understandable. He just had a death in his family, and he's not himself. Couple of announcements. So next Sunday, as I said, not this Sunday. Next Sunday he's here. Next Sunday we are going to have yoga nidra.
Let's run that little overtime today.
Okay, and Sunday the 17th, our lovely teacher Ashley Stringer, my wonderful friend, which I love dearly, she will do yoga on tap, and we only offer yoga on tap once a month in this town. She will be doing it at Market 48. She will have prizes to win as well. Here's our hunky-dory teacher. Let me just finish the announcements. Hello Raymond, this is your tea.
Thank you.
Sunday the 17th of November, yoga on tap with Ashley Stringer. Please support her. $10 will give you a yoga class and a drink of your choice. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. They make a wonderful sparkling water with fruit. On the 26th of November, I believe, hold on one second, let me check the calendar. Our lovely Nina, when is she doing the Saturday, on the 23rd, I think, or the 16th. I have to check that with her. But we are also going to have a crystal bowl meditation in November. The newsletter is coming up tomorrow, so we're gonna have more workshops. There's gonna be a vegan potluck with Christine Farrow and Travis, the microgreen dude. So look for our newsletter. It is going to also be posted on Facebook, the link to our newsletter. And now I present to you Mr. Raymond Smith. I'm really sorry about the loss in your family. I already told everybody that you might come here, you might not. Here's your tea, some of it. Nobody drink that. It's your tea. It's a stress relief.
There's something inside.
There's somebody in there.
It's a little Buddha boy.
A little Buddha.
Yes. So,
what's it say on your tag?
On your tag, can you read? You have glasses, so you can.
Yes.
You can read this morning.
Never make excuses for being late. I'm just teasing. It says you are equally as beautiful as the universe.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Okay, so Raymond, we're gonna go a little bit over time because he drives.
We want to ask you as many questions as possible to why you practice yoga, why you love yoga, what is it for you, and
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I'm glad to be here.
So why do you practice yoga? And what made you start to practice?
So what made me start to practice yoga? So when I was about, how old are you?
21.
So when I was about 30 years old, just a little bit younger, like in my late 20s, I was living in Miami Beach, working for a furniture chain, and got involved in addictions with drugs and alcohol and sex and all that stuff, and actually fell apart down there. And went to a doctor, had a physical, and he says, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, you need to change everything.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So I was on the brink of big troubles, and I went out in a state park there and laid down and just prayed. And I've had a very beautiful spiritual practice since I've been a little kid. But I just kept asking divine God, just please show me. I need to get out of this. And about 4 or 5 county workers who were working in the park came over and said, dude, we haven't seen your chest move in like an hour. Are you okay? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm okay. And I sat up and looked, and there was a Buddhist monk walking down the back edge of the park.
Really?
And I thanked him, and I said, listen, I ran it down, it was a nun actually. And I went to her and I said, look, I'm in big trouble. I said, I need some help. And she said, what's going on? I said, I'm just struggling. And she said, well, come over to the temple. You can work on our yard. In return, I'll teach you how to meditate and how to, get your life straightened around. And I said, can you give me the address? And she gave me the address, and the freaking place was like 3 blocks from my house, and I never saw it.
No excuse.
No excuse, and I never saw it. And I got to spend about 6 years with her. I worked full-time at Haverty's, or at Rooms to Go, and went there every morning and every evening and learned about the mind and meditation. And that's when my life started to really turn around and change with the drugs and the alcohol and chasing the young women and the stuff we do when we're our age, when you're your age.
Our age. No, you're 3 times over his age.
Well, no, I still think I'm like 16 years old, but...
And in the heart you are, yes, that's for sure.
So, I was so grateful to be able to share my energy and time with this lady. She taught me a lot about the mind and about food and about stuff. And as things went along, she got transferred to Los Angeles, and I was going to Orlando as a transfer for a job, and somebody gave me a book, one of the other students. It was Sri Ramana Maharishi, Who Am I? And I'm like, what is this stuff, right? And I was strictly studying Buddhism at the time, so I just sat it to the side, and I moved, and I ended up in Orlando, and I prayed to divine God, what I call God. I'm not done with teachers. Please send me another teacher. I'm just not done. And I was sitting out on a pool deck meditating, and a young Indian boy came along and asked me, how long have I been meditating? I said, for a couple hours. He said, no, in your life. Oh. And I said, for years I have been. Ever since I've been a kid, I've learned just to get in there and get a little quiet and find that peaceful place.
Meditating is great.
It is, and I asked this kid, I said, who's this Sri Ramana guy, this Maharishi, what is that? He said, oh, they're yogis, they're about yoga and the spiritual journey, right? And I said, have you ever met one? And he said, yeah. And I said, in your country? And he said, yeah. He said, but there's one about 1.5 miles down this road and another 1/4 mile. So I got in my beat up Cadillac, took that book and went down there and met this Maharishi, this Swami, and that's how I got into yoga. Wow. And I got to spend decades with this man, and he taught me about the asanas and about yoga and about, everything that I've ever learned or brought into the studios, I learned from this man.
So that man, what's it called, helped you begin to teach, or showed you that you want to teach?
He did, and he did it in a very different way. I was out, digging holes in the ground and burying plants, and when big ceremonies would go on, he wouldn't allow me in the ceremonies. I'd clean people's shoes off as they came in. I mean, he made me feel like literally a piece of a worthless piece of shit, right. Basically.
Yeah, he wanted to make you humble.
He humbled
me.
Yes.
He crushed me, and then I got transferred to Charlotte, North Carolina, and he says, you're ready to go teach now. And I said, teach how to clean shoes and bury plants? I go, what are you talking about? Well, there's a Hindu thing called Diksha, where when you spend that much time with a yogi or a swami, they give you the wisdom and knowledge of yoga through more like a telepathic, through the consciousness. And I didn't know what that was at the time. So I ended up in Charlotte, and I tell this story in my classes. And I walked into the room, and I Googled yoga, and a hot yoga class came up, and I showed up. And guy at the front door says, "You're here to sub?" And I said, "No, no, no, this is my first." He says, "You're here to sub, lock the door." And I was like, "Wait a minute, man."
Oh, God.
Never taught a yoga class in my life, only knew a few asanas. I went in the bathroom and just got my breathing together, and I asked a lady where they at. I walked in this room and there were 68 students.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
No,
How did that class go?
unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, so actually one of the other owners was in there and says, "Listen, we don't know where you got this from, but this is what we love. This is what we love."
This is it.
And it was done by accident, it was done by grace, it was done by trust and faith, and you know, that's how I got into yoga, that's how I started, and they got me into Baron Baptiste, the methodology that I like to teach here, the hot yoga, and I practiced and taught that for a long time.
So